Everything is serving you, whether good or bad. Everything is happening for your benefit. And once you understand this, you will never be the same again. This is Mekus with the Continence Club. My email's in the description. If you need help with anything, just let me know. Anything along the lines of taking control of your mind, having better control of it, I'm here for you. Let me know and I will make a video topic on it. So, as I said, remember, everything happens for your benefit. I talk about it in my videos, but I'm going to hammer on it again today just so that you have a better understanding of how to look at your situations with a new perspective. Now, let's go ahead and celebrate. Let's party because contrast in life is great. Whenever you set your intention on becoming this having this desired situation here, there's contrast, there's conflict, right? But I call it contrast. You're like, oh man, I'm conflicted. I have to get uncomfortable. I have to do things I don't want to do. I have to go places. I might have to, change some parts about myself. Hey, but why does that have to be a bad thing? Let me ask you again, why does that have to be something that is a bad, is hard or challenging or however negative you look at it? Why does it have to be that way? All that means is that you're shifting your desired situation, although you may not see it that way, right? Because things have to be put in place for you to go from here to here, right? And once you understand that, all you have to do is change your perspective, right? You're bridging this gap. And that's what we're talking about today. Understanding that everything is happening for your benefit, right? So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is be grateful for your situation, and the transition period will expedite. Because you have to expect for things to change. You might have to expect for things to get quote unquote challenging, right? Because you're shifting, you're going here, you're getting here now, you're being tested to see if you're worthy to be this person, to have what it is that you want, right? So it's all about perspective, deconstruction to reconstruction. And that's why I say it's not your fault, because growing up, we were taught to look at our situations, for you to look at your situation as negative, and that there's nothing you can do about it, and that someone externally is going to come save you, and that you're limited into what you can do, right? So we're deconstructing these thoughts and we're reconstructing it. So we're going from being mad, being a victim, to being happy and being grateful. Your car might have gotten towed, but guess what? That if you looked at it in a better light, like, hey, this is happening for a reason. Maybe I was getting saved from an accident if I would have drove my car. And all of a sudden you might be blessed with a new car. Things like this happen. You'll be surprised whenever you change your outlook on certain situations, what's going to occur, right? So pointing fingers, being the victim and getting angry at people, laugh a little bit, right? Whenever someone's telling you off, and, that doesn't mean you have to react, right? You can look at it from a different lens, right? And so, at the end of the day, to get to the next level and control your mind, understanding perspective is key. And, this is vital, your perspective, the way you look at things, because everything comes from thought. So once you start to change your perspective, the shift happens. In your current situation, you're focusing on what you don't like about occurrences. That's what's keeping you stuck. That's why you can't bridge that gap, because you're not looking at everything as a lesson. You're not looking at failure as a stepping stone, right? This is why it's gonna keep you in the same place, bringing you more unfortunate events, more things to complain about, right? But one thing I want you to understand that's really going to change everything for you is that your desired situation is already done. Like this place that you want to be at, this person you want to become, that goal that you have, right? It's already done. 99% of it is done. But the thing is, you keep focusing on things other than your desired situation. You keep focusing on what you lack, what you don't have, right? What you hate, right? So you're blocking that 1%, like you're blocking to that full transition over, right? Because you're still worried about what you're going through. You see? So remember, you are what you think. You get what you think. It doesn't matter what is true. What you believe is true will be true over time, right? Because the world is a mirror. That's why the world is a mirror reflecting your internal state. So once you get your inner right, your outer is automatically going to be right. What you experience externally is the manifestation of your dominant thoughts and your beliefs, So once you change your perspective, your interpretation, right? Instead of viewing things as random occurrences, view them as opportunities, to align with your desired state. So whenever you're tested, right, your car gets towed, you lost your job, your girlfriend or boyfriend broke up with you, right? Your health is going downhill, right? View these things as opportunities to align with what you actually want, right? Because what seems negative at first can be reframed as a step towards your goal, right? So that's why positivity and love is always going to win at the end of the day, right? Negative energy can be transmuted into positive energy. And you can do this easily by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This is the core of the law of assumption. It's to assume the feeling of already having what you desire. By doing so, you shift your internal state and your external reality will eventually reflect that. So mind control, that's what it boils down to, being able to control your mind and putting yourself in alignment to receive. So negative emotions are a sign for you to change your focus. That's all they are. That negative thing that happened, whatever it is, that emotion you're feeling, the negative experience, all of these things are a sign for you to change your focus. It's a deconstruction and reconstruction process. So all you have to do is place your attention on what is serving you. Place your attention on deconstructing to reconstruction. Place your attention on doing anything and everything to grow, because that's what makes you special, right? You've taken the privilege, the opportunity to do what everybody else is not doing, to do what the 5% of people in the world are doing, which is actually living a life that they want. And so what an honor it is to really, take this into your own hands and turn it into something that you're going to look back on and be happy about, that, your friends and family are going to look at you as an inspiration. Because the thing is, you can't change other people unless you change yourself, right? So if you really want to serve other people, serve yourself first, and other people are going to be inspired, right? And you can only serve yourself by taking accountability, looking at your current situations and channeling those into a mechanism into which you could use to your advantage, right? Because everything is really helping you grow. This life is all about continuous development, continuous growth. You're here to realize who you are, your potential, and fulfill it, live the life that you want, and control yourself, right? Because that's your sovereign capacity. That's your birthright, to be able to do this. So, and once you get a grasp of this and you can stay consistent, you're going to be living a life that people wish that they're living. That's why I say you're going to serve to be an inspiration for others. So all you have to do is look yourself in the mirror, step up to the plate, because you're more than capable of doing whatever it is that you want. And you get after it each and every single day. And I promise you, and I really do guarantee that you will live a more fulfilling life as long as you set out to do what is in your heart. This is Mekus with the Continence Club. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I will see you on the other side. And until next time.